Welcome back to Long Box Diving, where we explore comics and story arcs pulled from the long box. I am Jay. This is
E.
And we are here
You're D.
to do. I am D. You're E.
Yeah. You
All
said
right.
J. Anyway.
Well, I am also a J. Well, we are here to do our quick fire reviews. We're actually doing them other than Sunday this week. Finally, about time.
Make our stream longer about something else.
Yeah, actually do the comic reviews for. But yeah, so we actually have a whole stack of stuff that we covered that we'll be covering this week. Oh man, it was hard. I mean, getting these, picking them up, trying to be safe, and the whole COVID-19 stuff. I mean,
I was the guinea pig.
Everything at home. So I just run in and get those because I don't want to get sick.
It's a lot easier if one person used sanitizer than five. So.
A lot cheaper if one person uses sanitizer than five. But so. We've got our comics to do our quick fire reviews on, and we'll talk about what we liked, what we didn't like. The old fogey and the young
whippersnapper. Let's do this.
Young whipper.
I wanted something other than whippersnapper. I don't know. It's just
figure something out. What do you want to be called?
I have no clue.
I mean, the Zoomer.
The Zoomer and the Boomer.
The Zoomer and the Boomer. Yeah, that's great. Oh, perfect.
This is. Oh my goodness. You're not even Boomer. Anyway.
I'm not even a Boomer. So hopefully our live stream will run okay. It seems to be buffering a lot. I don't know if that's just on our end or what. So hopefully it's not too bad if people can jump in and join us and watch us talk about our comics that we picked up this week and what we thought, and if we liked them, if we recommend them, etc. Yeah. So, which one did you want to start with?
Let's start with Justice League.
All right. So we picked up
Justice League number 43.
Justice League 43.
Now this has been.
Say, and let's talk about that cover for a second. That cover looks great.
Oh, it's beautiful.
But is that Superman trying to stop Wonder Woman from killing?
No, to be honest, it looks like he's helping her.
Well, he's got his. It's kind of weird because I think his wrist is supposed to be behind her wrist. But
oh my word,
whose thumb is that?
That's her thumb.
But her hand's up here. All right. So
that is so confusing.
Whose thumb is below the sword? Can you see it?
That's better. Yeah. Superman's hand is on top of...
So his thumb should be toward her cheek. It would be a really long thumb to wrap underneath. Her hand is tilted and sideways kind of, and it should be under his hand. I don't know whose thumb that is.
So wait. That's the start of her thumb right there.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we got thumbs poking out everywhere.
But I do like, the composition of the cover is good. There's just something right in the middle where the eye's drawn, where Superman and Wonder Woman are holding hands.
There's a big goof.
That looks goofy. It looks just weird. All right, but the comic itself. All right, so Eradicator shows up on Earth, and he's bringing a bunch of Daxamites who are normally
clones.
They're not good. They can't really survive on Earth right away, even though the sun makes them super strong. They actually tend to die off pretty quick. They're also they don't have the Kryptonian problem with kryptonite, but they do have a problem with iron, something like that. But Eradicator has made them immune to a lot of different things and set them up to where they would be even more powerful than Superman. So they all show up on Earth to take over Earth. But they actually find out that Wonder Woman would be great DNA material to create another superior,
because she's a goddess. Kind of.
Well, technically, yeah. So apparently he's gonna try to use her DNA. So Flash starts running, but just slow enough so these guys can keep up.
Yeah.
And then Man in Xanadu opens a portal and brings them to a world that John picked
that doesn't have
a yellow sun. And then they start fighting, right? And everything's going okay.
And to be honest, Superman's I was a little confused about that because aren't they like super smart?
Not necessarily. They can learn super quick, but it doesn't mean they're super smart.
What's up, Just Rican?
Hey, Rod, how you doing, man? So Wonder Woman lets the secret slip that, hey, Eradicator wanted to just use you guys, and then he's going to actually replace you really pretty soon. And then Wonder Woman rips Eradicator's head
Superman,
right off.
Superman does the obvious Superman thing, sacrifices himself.
Take me.
Hey, remember your original code. You're supposed to protect all Krypton DNA. I'm Krypton DNA. Use me. So he was like, for Earth.
And then we kind of get a precursor into some reckoning stuff that's going on. So, I mean, this overall, it was a good, solid, old-fashioned superhero story.
Honestly,
where they have to use some outside the box thinking to defeat the enemy that seems impossible to defeat. Venditti didn't write himself into a corner. He didn't have to use time travel and a bunch of gimmicks to try to get himself out of the hole.
Superman flies so fast around the Earth. Reverse. No, that's not how time works.
Now, again, it didn't tie into anything that Scott Snyder did, but that's coming in Death Metal right now. And actually, there's something in here that did tie into Death Metal, but that was a good, solid superhero story, and I loved it. So the sort of boomer says yes.
I think it's gotten worse.
The Zoomer?
Yeah, you gotta love the consistency.
Old Fogey and Whippersnapper.
Yeah,
that's
much better.
The consistency on the art is really good. The writing was consistent. Yeah. Everything was good. So definitely a recommend from us.
Yes.
All right, next. Pick from the file. Pick from the pile. All right, Batman.
Teen Titans is okay.
Batman 91. Look at that. Again, just look at that cover.
Okay, this one has no funky business.
GCPD. They all look like they're Jokerized and they're getting their butts kicked.
It is so cool.
It's a great angle on it.
Yes.
It was, right now, because the consistency of Batman is just shot through the roof. Batman is good again. Yes. And I'm really, really enjoying Batman. And it's been a long time since I've enjoyed Batman. Now,
I loved the first page.
He loved the first page. I thought the first page was way too wordy.
It was
to basically go back over what we already knew.
Well, yeah, but for someone jumping in the middle would be cool.
Yes, and look at
it's basically Joker's side of the story.
Look at this drawing of Catwoman.
He's drawing with a pen on a cocktail napkin.
It's great. And then he's got a penguin. Then he's got a Riddler. And so we got him, and he's in a bar.
We got the answer to what did Joker ask for.
What did he ask for?
He asked to be the devil. He asked for the designer's position.
You want us to be the designer? I want to be you.
Oh my goodness!
So we had a good fight scene between Slade and Batman.
Oh yeah, and Batman's monologue during all of that.
Look at that! Him jumping onto the jet and slamming the blade right through the windscreen.
Of course, it's my city.
It's great stuff. Then we have Harley Quinn teaming up with Catwoman. Of course, Catwoman. It's like, okay, what did you want? It's like, well, I wanted to, steal the greatest riches. Well, then the designer is planning to do that ahead of you. What do you plan to do? Do it before him. So Catwoman is going to steal Bruce Wayne's money before the designer can do it, which is interesting. Again, we're getting a lot of action, a lot of fighting. Batman and Slade fighting it out. The designer showed up. Batman and Slade team up because all these guys have been Jokerized. And then there's like, okay, my turn. The Riddler is stepped up to join the designer. Crazy. Crazy stuff. So definitely from the old fogey, Batman is a definite recommend.
That was a fun comic. Yeah, it's a recommend.
From the young whippersnapper.
Oh.
And I mean, this book's killing it right now. It's fantastic. Definitely recommend. You definitely need to be on that. And what's even better, there's no punchline.
Batman Beyond.
There was no punchline.
Yeah, she's gone.
I told you, out in 3. But of course,
he called it.
She's not dead yet, but
let's do Teen Titans. We need to get a bad one out of the way.
Oh, you want?
No, not a bad one.
It wasn't bad.
An okay one. An okay one.
All right. So Teen Titans 40. Teen Titans 40. Now this was interesting because we got World War Genie going on, where all the genies have been pulled in together under the Big Brother genie, who is about to assault the gates of heaven. And so now we got these bunch of teenagers are the only ones that can stop them, and the only way they can stop them by is dying
and going to heaven
and going to purgatory. No, hell, to get to purgatory, to where then they can fight the genies before they get into heaven. So Jakeem is there because Thunderbolt, whatever his name is, could not. That's one of the genies, but he has no power on his own, no abilities. So all the Teen Titans die. It's a good thing, and they die. They're going to be almost dead for a few minutes, and that's when
Robin's like, "Hey, I have this potion that can
almost kill you, and then you, Jakeem, has got to bring us all back before we actually die." And then basically everybody faces their worst fear. You're like me, Ra's al Ghul. Flash, you're going to turn into a monster. The Blue Kid, you're going to be buried alive. I don't know why that's his worst fear. And I don't even know what his name is. I should. Red Hood, you're going to side with Slade.
Yeah, it's some.
But the art in here is fantastic.
That's a beautiful frame.
You're gonna become like your mother. But look at that one. He grabs his face and squeezes his chin. This is great. Ra's al Ghul just pulls him in, and so they're all facing their fate. But Robin had told him ahead of time, none of it's real. Look at that. Look at that. It's beautiful. And Robin said, none of it's real. You have to fight. Remember, it's not real. And so they get into the gate of purgatory. They open the door. Genie says, I told you not to come. And then beep, they all code.
Flatline.
What? All right. So, yes, it felt like a filler story because everybody's battling their own personal inner demons. It was more of a character development story with some action in the character development. They're all facing their fears. They're all kind of dead. They all meet. So, good stuff in there, not super active, just good action, good character building. It was a solid story. So for me, is a recommend.
You know what? Yeah, if you have the money to blow.
Granted, if you're low on money,
especially now,
get Batman. But at least up until 100. All right, so then we had X-Force.
And this one was interesting.
X-Force number 9, and again. Look at that cover. All right. Domino's looking good. Wolverine's looking good. Kid Omega looks like my son. One of my sons without the pink hair. He's got brown hair, but that's his look. Goodness. He actually has torn up jeans and a vest just like that.
Oh.
and he wear a bandana. So Benjamin Percy and Joshua Cassar has been doing a great job on this.
I can't see that anymore.
Hey, Riot. All right. So they look fantastic.
Oh, my goodness.
And so we have what they started the comic off, and honestly, I didn't like the beginning because again, unless you're showing the X-Men are just I don't know, it's weird, right? So when X-Men used to play baseball in their downtime, they used to play games and have fun and love each other and team build,
be a team, yeah,
and like hey, you can do it, build each other up. But now they play spin the bottle, stab yourself in the head with your claws. This is a father, daughter, and son playing spin the bottle, stab yourself in the brain. Granted, most of them would probably live, but Dakin loses, and he pops his claws through his head.
And then flies back.
I don't get it. And of course, Gene's like, you should be playing something nice with your kids. What are you talking about, Gene? This is exactly what we're doing. See, this is good bonding.
I hope not.
We would not play that. Probably because I don't want to lose.
And we don't have regeneration or...
this was an interesting scene.
Yeah, 2-page spread of them partying.
But it's just a bunch of partying. I guess that's normal. I don't know. It's just weird.
Actually, it's not normal. Especially from... What's his face? I don't see anyone.
I mean, we got a lot of people on this, and it's a really good job. I mean, we see Forge, Sympathy, or
Magneto.
Strong Guy, Storm, Celeste, Psylocke.
It's Gambit, right?
Farrell. Gambit's over here with Rogue.
Yeah.
Black Tom Cassidy. I mean, everybody's in this page, right? So we got a lot of people in here. It's a good 2-page spread.
Mystique, Colossus, yeah.
Sage, then they get into a bar fight, and so Sage starts fighting in the bar fight along with everybody else. And come to find out, hey, we got to go on a mission. Something's happening on Terra Verde. We haven't heard from them. We see that Domino been resurrected, and she's forgotten some of the memories that were in her brain about her being basically flayed alive. She's looking normal again, which is good. Then, boom, Kid Omega slams his face right into the gate. Wolverine says, well, you can still pass your hand through it. So he slides his claws and realizes something has grown over the gate, and it's also human flesh. And you can actually see it here. Humans grown with plants into the gate.
Yeah. That was
what? Weird stuff. So they come in, they see the main head guy is all wrapped up in the stuff. The whole island is wrapped up into it. The temple, it seems to be the sort. So they're going to go through there. And Kid Omega's complaining. This is great. Wolverine just cuts the shirt and the pants off. It's like, no, you feel better. But then there's like the Jaguars and the Panthers on this island are all vegetized.
I love.
Is that a word? Vegetized?
It is now.
He's
like, it feels like I'm inhaling soup. It's like, welcome to hot, swampy areas. We live in Florida.
Yeah. Don't touch the jacket. It's a blend of wool, silk, and linen woven in Italy. Why did you wear it to a tropical forest?
Hey, my pants were fitted.
And then we get basically, hey, we need a plant guy here because this whole island is taken over by plants. So Beast just comes and basically Black Tom Cassidy, you're going, and grabs him, like drags him, and getting ready to throw him.
Black Tom is being way overworked, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, he's having to guard the whole island. He's kind of going nuts. But then we get this final pit. Look at this. He gets dragged back by the plant life, and he's like, "It's an angry god."
Yeah, Terra Verde isn't a group of people. It's God.
That is fantastic. So this is the best Dynavax book out there right now. You can't get better than this. This is fantastic.
Okay.
Highly recommend it.
They've been hinting towards the X-Men being like completely messed up by their internal compasses. Jean's like, with the stuff we've been doing, it's really difficult to tell if we're still the good guys.
Yeah, because nobody knows. All right, so now we're going to cover
Unkillables.
Deceased Unkillables #2. #1 was great. The art in this is pretty good, and look at that cover. It's a nice homage cover.
Oh, it's a nice cover.
It's
the covers have been pretty good this week.
Yes, all the covers have been pretty good. The art in here has been pretty good. Basically, we have Red Hood, Orphan, and Commissioner Gordon.
Slade.
No. Red Hood, Orphan, and Commissioner Gordon.
I was wrong.
He was. That happens a lot. They end up at the School of Children, and they've got a whole gymnasium full of zombie kids, right? Let's leave them in there. We can ignore them. Then you have a group of villains that put together by what's his face? What's his name? Savage. Yeah. Vandal Savage. And so in Vandal Savage has got Grundy, he's got Creeper, he's got Slade, Rose, Slade's daughter, he's got Orphan's mother, he's got a bunch of people, right? And he's actually and he's got Bane and Mirror Master. And he's experimenting on Creeper and Slade to figure out why they're immune to the disease. Yeah. But the disease is smart, and it sends Wonder Woman to the island they're on. And she shows up. Look at this.
That is a dope page.
Boom! Uh-oh. And you see it in Vandal's eyes. Look at.
That is fear. That is pure fear.
Oh, blank. Wonder Woman zombie. Yeah, you're screwed. So basically, Mirror Master is like taking everybody out. Snart stays to try to freeze her out to get everybody else through. So Deadshot, everybody gets through. Snart goes back to get, or Mirror Master goes back to get Snart, and Snart bites him. Now you got a teleporter, in a sense, with Mirror Master, and a smart virus. And they do figure it out that, hey, this virus is smart, and you know, all the superheroes are leaving because they just announced they're on a ship, they're getting ready to leave, and you know, Commissioner Gordon's like, no, we gotta stay and protect the kids. No way we can get them into Gotham. And so they're staying. The virus is smart. It has Superman, Wonder Woman, and the Flash, just to name a few. And they can tell, and you know, Red Hood goes, well, so that's why the zombies we're getting more zombies outside the gate. And then they go through to kill all the zombies that are in the room.
I love that. I love that right there.
They send Commissioner Gordon away, and they're like, hey, we'll go ahead and take care of this. It's something that needs to be done. And they start training the kids on how to fight, hand-to-hand combat, shooting, all that great stuff. And then Bane takes off his hood, playing with the dog. Zombie Mirror Master comes out and gets Bane. At the same time, Red Hood is kissing Rose out by the school buses. What? All right. Because her dad did say they should be a couple. It's the end of the world. Just go ahead and get it taken care of. And now you have Bane. So they get Mirror Master, but Bane is outside opening the gates and letting the bad... I mean, he's getting help. The virus is smart. So, definitely recommend for me. It was really good.
It was made by Apple.
All right. Well, technically, it's all, you know, by screens. Go ahead. What do you think, man?
Oh, it was nice.
Nice. So definitely recommend.
It was a great follow-up to the first one.
Yeah, so recommend from the old fogey and from the young whippersnapper. So that is a good one. Now we get into some of the rest. I've read these. I don't know if you've read all of them.
I've read 2 of them.
All right, so first one is Something is Killing the Children 6. Now, Boom is doing this one. This is honestly, I have my ups and downs with this. This last book was like, okay, if it's not good, I'm going to drop it. And it was actually pretty good. She fights a monster. She kills a monster. It's fantastic. This one just has some scary parts to it. Some more of backstory. Some more of character development.
Oh, yeah. It was definite. It wasn't it didn't feel like a filler. It felt like
there was secrets revealed. Like the octopus. We learn more about the octopus. We learn more about this little girl, and that there's babies out there, and the babies are out there feeding on things. We get some backstory into where she grew up.
Yeah.
All right. And they're basically not happy with her.
It felt like a Netflix TV show.
Yes, which I think is kind of maybe what they're shooting for. Now they're sending a guy to go rein her in and basically send her back to the house of slaughter, which she does not want to go to, which we find out the name is House of Slaughter. Yes. And they're going to kill the little boy that's been helping her. So, and then I guess that's her family photo. And apparently she was taken in as a stray. So there was a lot of backstory. There was a lot of character development. There was a lot of stuff revealed, but not a very active issue. So this one is okay. If you like scary stories and you like character development and you like all that kind of stuff, get it. But I'm hanging on for another issue. It was enough to keep me going for another issue, but not enough for me to say, yeah, this is awesome. I recommend it.
It really feels like a Netflix TV show.
I mean, it does. But
I mean, especially the way the scenes are laid out, the panels.
I just like more action in my comics.
Yeah.
I like, stakes. In that whole comic, there was no stakes. There was no action. It was just talking, which is fine, but let's limit the talking down. You can say a lot of that in just a couple pages and intersperse action in between it. That's what I like.
Yeah. So if you want a story, kind of scary, go ahead.
All right. So the next one was Undiscovered Country number 5. All right. This one is probably getting dropped off my pull list. It was just weird. And I'm not 100% sure everything that's going on. I don't know why it's going on. I don't know why it's happening. A lot of it doesn't make sense to me.
Why are they climbing up that wall?
There's a guy climbing up a wall with a mask on his face, and there's
with an old lady,
and there's in their underwear, and then there's starfish on the top of the wall that's pooping on them. I don't know why. I don't know why. And then they get to the top, and the guy's forcing the starfish to poop on him. He's like, poop, poop. Oh, what is it? What did I say? I mean, he says, so, go Stripes, empty now. And he's beating the thing, trying to force it to poop.
Yeah, the entire book was weird.
And then you got jumps to the past, and then you got, the parents might be alive, and then you got the guy who pretended to be Uncle Sam, and then there's a starship or a spaceship that's floating with balloons. I don't know what's going on. None of this makes sense. I'm not a dumb guy, but this thing, none of it ties together. It's not linking in my brain. It probably just was not made for me. It's not. I don't understand what the point of this is.
I'm not a dumb guy, okay?
I'm not a dumb guy. I usually can figure some stuff out, but unless I go back and read every one of them and try to link it all together, I get the general premise, but I don't understand why. I don't know why it even exists. I don't know what the point is. All right, so this is probably getting dropped off my pull list, so I can't recommend it from an old fogey standpoint. Mm-hmm. Did you read it?
I got through most of it. It was just very weird.
It's weird. I mean, it has a deal. It has a TV deal or a movie deal or something like that already. Oh. So maybe when it comes to video, they can explain the things that I'm not getting, and because as of right now, it's like they're on a spiral to get to Aurora. I don't know what Aurora is, but everybody's on a spiral. But it looks like they're running toward a wall because the guys are climbing a wall. So how is a spiral going into a wall when it's supposed to go to the center of the country? I don't know what's going on. All right. And then the guy's able to change his horns. Why? What does that have to do with anything? Why did we spend 2 pages watching him change his horns? All right. Sorry. I just don't get it.
Because antlers.
Yeah, basically. He went from antlers to like big, long wraparound red horns or something like that. So now it looks like a ram. All right, so now.
This isn't even my final form.
Hell Arisen number 4. This was actually pretty good, and it leads into Dark Knight Metal. So we learn a little bit more about Apex Luthor and what his motivation for doing this was. We learn a little bit more about the Joker who laughs and why he's wearing that visor. And he actually gets the visor ripped off. And he also, when it does, Luthor is able to inject the Joker that laughs with a serum that heals the connection to the dark realm. By doing that, it also freed all the superheroes that were locked into his little dark infected form. So then he grabs Joker and takes him in front of Perpetua. Now, the Joker who laughed had planned to go in front of Perpetua all along because he's like, you don't need a lapdog anymore. You need somebody who can help you destroy. Your superheroes have left. They're actually captured by the Elders of the Universe. I know this because I actually have the Phantom locked up, and I interrogated him. So I know the superheroes actually are not in the realm anymore. They're gone. They went through that big door that we saw, and now they're coming back in death metal. You don't need a lapdog anymore. You actually need somebody that can actually help you and be a right-hand man. And that's what I am and not what he is. And Luthor does not like it. He's like, you can't talk to me like that. He's like, take care of this one. Kill this thing. Kill this thing at once. I have given you everything. You cannot seriously be entertain this madness. And she goes, you dare speak to me like this? I love this part. He goes, you were a spark of power trapped inside a doorknob until I freed you. I'll speak to you any way I blank well please. This is the woman who created the multiverse. And Luthor flexes on her. And then she just rips every piece of power away from him. He is no longer no longer has Martian DNA. He no longer has the Apex Predator power. He is stripped of everything.
It's what happens when you mess with a guy.
And he then goes, I don't need your power to kill you. I don't need anything from you. I have never needed anything from you. And then he runs at her to fight her. And she's like, disappointing. And he flies back through the door. And the woman that was with him, I don't remember her name. She goes back through the door too. And then she's like, okay, Joker who laughs, tell me how we're going to do this. What's going on? What are we going to do? And he goes, well, the one thing I don't like is this red print in the black. "Oh, I think you'll find it's a good one." He goes, "Look into my mind." And she starts looking at him and goes, "Oh my." And then she starts doing the Joker laugh. He's now infected Perpetua, the goddess who created the multiverse. And then she goes and finds Luthor. He is like slammed into a field. And she says, "Lex, you're alive." He goes, "No, we're all dead now." And then it goes, "To be continued in death metal." So I think it was a good segue into death metal and what the stakes are and how big this story is supposed to be. I think Scott Snyder is going to do a pretty good job of that. He's not doing a good job in Undiscovered Country, in my opinion. But he's doing. Hopefully, him and Capullo are going to just pull off some fantastic stuff in death metal. That looks very, very cool. All right, so that's our quickfire reviews. We got them all done within 30 minutes or so, which is a first. And then, we got a big stack of books to go over tomorrow in our live stream comic haul.
Yes.
So I got books. Jay got a bunch of books as well.
We did something crazy. We went comic hunting a little bit.
We were wearing radiation suits and gas masks and the whole 9 yards. We were like Darth Vader. Don't touch me. 6 feet, say 6 feet back.
I think some people are actually putting that rule onto cars. So
yeah, we sell cars like 6 feet back. Like I'm like, come on. All right. So that is our quickfire review, and we will see you next time here. And please join us tomorrow. But we'll see you next time here in the Long Box.
Enjoy dinner.